Captain America: The Winter Soldier is perhaps the most intricately crafted of the Marvel movies to date. The film not only serves as a strong follow-up to Cap's first outing and Joss Whedon's ensemble juggernaut, The Avengers, but it also has the strongest ties and the most profound impact on the Marvel Cinematic Universe at large. Perhaps more to the point, the film is one of, if not the strongest, of the individual installments. One part spy thriller, one part character journey, one part kick-ass action movie, and one part straight-up superhero adventure film. The Winter Soldier hits all of the right notes and serves as an example of the very best of what comic book movies have to offer.
We're gonna neutralize a lot of threats before they even happen.
Thought the punishment usually came after the crime.
So Roth, Captain America: The Winter Soldier really is something new for Marvel, and it starts with a story. So tell us why it is.
Well, this is them doing their political thriller, and they have done such an excellent job with that. I think what's really exciting about this movie is that it's a sharp script. It understands sort of the 70s era political thrillers that it's harkening back to. It plays with the form. It does a really good job of hitting the tropes, but bringing in something new. And it's operating on a couple of different levels. It is an action-packed superhero movie that's so fun to watch. But it understands that if you're going to do a political thriller, particularly one from that era, you have got to have a perspective and a point of view.
I thought it was very bold of them to do that too.
Yeah, absolutely. It has a real specific point of view about something that is going on in our world today. People like us, we'll go in there, we'll enjoy that, we'll want to chew on that. But at the same time, you don't have to. It understands what it is at the end of the day, which is just a really great story and a really strong piece of entertainment.
You know, if you ask Kristen out from statistics, she'd probably say yes.
That's why I don't ask.
Too shy or too scared?
Too busy!
So I think you'll agree with me that, this is really Cap at his most compelling as a character.
Absolutely. I think he becomes almost the most relatable of the Marvel heroes in this movie. And it's interesting because in the Avengers, you had this promise of an arc for him about being the cost of Cap. Cost of being this man out of time who belongs to no one, to nothing. You really see that play out here in a very wrenching and powerful way. But at the same time, man, he's quite the ass kicker too. I don't think we've ever seen the shield be used this fiercely.
Yeah, it's great to see it used as an offensive weapon. For me, it's up there now with Wolverine's claws, with Thor's hammer. It's also cool to see Cap kind of have a partner in Falcon. Doesn't have a lot to do. The real main partner in the movie is Black Widow, who has her own sort of crisis of conscience.
She does, and she gets a lot to do. Joss Whedon had set her up in The Avengers, and it really plays out here as well in a beautiful way. She's funny, they have a great repartee, but at the same time, she's given a crisis of conscience. She's left at quite the crossroads, and I think it's great to see that. It's very meaty for this character.
Another character who's dealing with doubts is someone we haven't seen deal with doubts before, Nick Fury.
When do we get to see Nick Fury be vulnerable? It's great. He's given more to do in this movie. In the short amount of time, he's not in it a ton, than I think in most of the other movies combined, where he sort of just shows up and saves the day. None of them are sacrificed. We see the strong parts of them, and we see them at their most vulnerable here.
Well, let's talk about a couple of the new characters to this movie. We have Alexander Pierce, played by Robert Redford, who really brings a lot of gravitas.
He does, and I think it lends itself to the idea that this is sort of a 70s era thriller, just him being in it, Yeah. And then also you buy that this is the man in charge. I won't say where the character goes, but I think if you're a movie fan, if you're a comic book fan, you're going to like what he does.
And of course, the Winter Soldier, for my money, is the scariest, most intimidating Marvel villain we've seen.
Absolutely. I mean, what's really cool about the Winter Soldier, man, he is like the Terminator of superhero movies. He is relentless. He cannot be stopped. It seems there were moments that I thought, they can't beat him. And that's really great to build in that kind of tension in a movie. He is heartbreaking, he is legitimately thrilling, and I think other than Loki, he is their most successful villain to date.
And if you thought The Avengers was Marvel's best action movie to date, wait until you see this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like they have taken every lesson they've learned from every previous film, and it's right there on the screen, and it's got multiple levels of action. It's got gunfights, it's got awesome hand-to-hand combat, it's got dogfights, it's got car chases. It's just every kind of action that you'd want, and it's executed really well. These guys, the Russo brothers, were best known for directing Community. Nobody's ever going to doubt that they can do action again.
To build a better world,
sometimes means tearing the old one down. and that makes enemies.
So on top of everything else, Captain America the Winter Soldier also revolutionizes the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, I almost couldn't believe where they went. I mean, to borrow from another franchise, there's no going back. The events of this movie can potentially reverberate into every single other Marvel property. Now, we're not going to say exactly what happened because it's a spoilery territory, but we're going to be talking a lot about it in the weeks to come after the movie is released. And honestly, I just can't wait to see where they're going to go with this.
When do we start?
We just did.
With a mix of effective character moments, viscerally thrilling action, humor, intrigue, and surprising heart, Captain America the Winter Soldier is one of Marvel Studios' strongest entries to date. This one is, in fact, a game changer.